I was looking up some Josh Allen numbers earlier today. Since his playoff game against Kansas City, he's 10th in EPA per play amongst all quarterbacks who started, I think, or at least 100 snaps, below Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels. Like, I've said this before about Josh Allen. He's a great quarterback. That game against the Chiefs puts him in God talks in the playoffs that simply he hasn't been in the last 3 years. So I know everyone loves Josh Allen, says once he's the playoffs come on, he's a god. That's the guy. He hasn't been that guy. And this Bills team is the weakest Bills team that he's probably had in the last few years. So my expectations for Buffalo isn't going to the Super Bowl. That's why if they lose in the first or second round, it's not going to be a knock on Josh Allen.
Yeah. I mean, this team has so many holes. You're allowing the fourth most rushing yards per game. I think second yards allowed. And then you don't have a number of receiver. And I think that's only exacerbated this season as defenses have kind of picked up on their tendencies. And I don't think the offensive play calling's been good enough to circumvent that deficiency in the passing game. I would say Josh Allen, when he's needed to in these higher scoring playoff games, is when he's risen to the occasion. Whereas when the game script, it's been a lower scoring game, the weather hasn't been good, he's done more than enough by not turning over the football and then making timely plays with his legs. So I understand your skepticism there, or your kind of doubt with the Josh Allen we've seen the last 2 years.
I've never walked away from a Josh
last year
Allen
versus the
playoff
Chiefs,
game.
he was good.
He was underwhelming.
I mean, he had a pass rating over 100.
And what happened the last drive? He didn't even
Agreed.
get a fucking, what do you get,
What
7
do you
yards?
mean? It was in Dawson Kincaid's hands.
Oh
We keep talking about this.
Listen, Dels, you know I'm with you in that. You know I'm with you in that.
You're just ignoring
but the
facts.
overall
This
game,
dude just gets praised like a god in the playoffs.
Here's the thing. In
And-
the aggregate, he's been a incredible, almost legendary playoff performer. For someone that's not a Super Bowl,
Absolutely.
it's
Sure,
been
but in the
sensational
last,
aggregate.
literally, since that Chiefs game that they changed the rules for him for, he's 10th in EPA per play. Like, he has
Is that
been
all you're measuring the game by?
No, but I think that's the stat that we use consistently here to measure quarterback play.
You can
And
put
for
yourself
a-
in a hole.
a god to be.
I use EPA, but accordingly, sparingly. I don't use it to just say he ranked 10th, so he was the 10th out of 12
I'm not saying I'm not
quarterbacks.
saying anything like that.
The last couple of seasons, this is how I feel. There have been very few moments where I have been left wanting more from Josh Allen.
But how many games did you leave
There's
saying,
only-
holy
there's
shit, Josh
one-
Allen
The
just
Chiefs,
did
the
that?
Chiefs game, you wanted more. Like, to a certain degree,
yes.
he was good.
The
I'm not
Ravens
saying
game
he
you
was
wanted
bad.
more. He had 100
All right,
yards.
stop. You're reaching. You're reaching.
This is
Bro,
what
he
I
had
say.
140
They
total
were in
yards.
cruise control.
There's two
until
Chiefs
they
games.
weren't.
They
Like,
were
that
in-
was a game that
They were
that
in
went
cruise
to the
control
last
that was in
seconds.
Lamar's hands.
I know, but we're acting like he was up by 30 points like it was Jalen Hurts versus the Giants. That was a game to the last seconds.
It was.
What are you talking about now?
He's
I'm
saying the
talking
game
about
Bills versus
the game
Ravens.
against the Ravens. You wanted more from Josh Allen. If Josh Allen has a Josh Allen game, you win by 2 touchdowns. Like, he had 140 total yards.
In a game like that, though,
Was that not
all he had
an
to do
elite
was just
defense,
take
though?
care of the ball.
It was a
They
great
won in the
defense
game.
last year. You're Josh fucking Allen.
I mean, it's a great defense, though. I mean, that defense, you got to give them credit,
It
too.
wasn't as good as it was 2 years ago.
No, they won the
That
Triple Crown
defense
that
2
year.
years ago
And then Mahomes
See,
beat
it
them.
was
He's a god,
elite
yeah.
2 years ago,
Unbelievable.
but last year's
Unbelievable.
second half of the season,
It
was elite.
It was great.
It was
great.
no, it was.
But the brother had 140 yards total.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, dude. You're Josh Allen. Like, we're not sitting up here like, no disrespect. It's not fucking Bo Nix. It's Josh Allen.
Why?
It's not Trevor Lawrence. It's not Caleb Williams. It's Josh Allen.
Thank you.
So, yes, I want more than 140 yards from him. He won the game. Job done. I get it. You asked me when I want
How
more.
many quarterbacks in the last 4 years have been a better playoff performer than Josh Allen?
The numbers say Lamar Jackson.
That's a lie, though. We know that. We know he's not
had
better.
bad games. He's had great games.
No, he's had
I
flat out terrible
I thought the
games.
game versus the Bills was objectively a good game by him.
Yes,
His
it
turnovers
was.
also set them back in the first half.
See, but the one turnover set him back. The one turnover led to points. He gave them a chance to win.
Mark Andrews dropping the ball, Mark Andrews fumbling, Zay Flowers fumbling. It's all Lamar.
Exactly.
It's always all Lamar.
But Josh Allen gets the benefit of the doubt that Kincaid should have caught
Well,
the
you're
ball.
bringing other conversations. It's our conversation.
No, but that is fair. Zay Flowers fumbled the ball at the 1 yard line when they had a legitimate chance to win that game.
I'm not arguing
Now-
the Bills Ravens. You got that.
Okay.
It was a good game. I wasn't even arguing it to begin with. You just started arguing.
I wasn't arguing. I was kind of just emphasizing Dell's point.
The Chiefs game was objectively bad. The AFC Championship game.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, what game?
The Chiefs AFC Championship game.
With Josh Allen or Lamar?
25.
Lamar Jackson.
So here's why I will agree. He started the game amazingly. I cannot get over the triple coverage INT.
Yeah, that was a bad play.
The score was 17-7, by the way. My mind remembers it as a 1-score game.
Yeah, they would've
It
made
was
a
a
field goal, yeah.
2-score game still.
for sure.
It just ended the game.
And
though.
don't get me wrong, there were plays in that game that happened, like Zay Flowers' fumble and
That would have tied the game at that point in
You know,
time.
there were things that went against him, but objectively, that was not.
I did not think that was an impressive game by him by any means.
But I don't think that was impressive. Mahomes' game, to be fair to him. I thought that it was a defensive
absolutely
fight.
Absolutely.
All I'm saying is,
Absolutely.
you said it like, and I think maybe John, you
I'm
said
just
it.
saying, bro. Josh Allen, to me, there have been maybe 2 times I've been left wanting more.
The game versus the Bengals, without a shadow of a doubt.
The Bengals
That was
game was a
terrible.
shortcoming.
Yeah.
Against the Chiefs, where he was amazing, but he just didn't hit Gabe Davis when Chris Jones kind of nudged him out of
He
position.
wasn't that amazing. He threw for under 200 yards, under 90 passer
Just
rating.
me watching the game, I felt like he played awesome. I really didn't have any complaints about
you're
how he
right.
played.
The pass where he rushed it because Chris Jones, that's a
That's
sure
a
he's
moment
not-
that you
he's
got to
not
hit
just
on.
game managed
And
a lot
that
of these
game,
playoffs.
that game ended
Which is-
because of the
oh.
missed field goal. The missed field goal by Tyler Bass ended the game because they would have tied it 27-27, and it was pretty much it should have been an easy kick, you know. So a lot of Josh Allen's losses have really come down to final seconds and a field goal kicker not making a kick, or defense letting up a field goal in 13 seconds, or Dalton Kincaid not making a catch, albeit difficult.
What about Mark Andrews dropping the 2-point conversion?
Yes,
last year?
that all matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but
just saying.
it is facts.
To
It
be
is
fair
true.
to Joel, I get where you're going.
It
The
is
first,
true.
the first thing you
He's
said when
not-
I said Lamar Jackson, you said no, it's not, and I was like,
but
hold on.
he's not making it a Lamar versus Josh. That wasn't what he was doing.
Well, that's how it originally started.
yeah, but Joel's point is not more so Lamar versus Josh. It's
My
more
whole
so
point
that
is that-
Josh is good in the playoffs,
He
which
is. I'm
I
not saying
agree.
he's bad in the playoffs. I'm saying he has been labeled a god, and we have not gotten a Josh Allen god performance in 4 years.
To be fair, how many playoff demons
For sure.
are there in
Not a
the
lot.
league
They're
right
like
now?
Mahomes,
It's Mahomes,
Jalen Hurts.
Stafford,
Or
Jalen Hurts.
Stafford.
That's the end of the list.
for sure, but
Wait, so where does-
Josh Allen gets put in that conversation.
See, but I mean, there are moments where he is.
For sure, 4 years ago.
There's no. All right, you could say
By the
4 years
way,
ago.
That's
Last
his
year
best
he was
game,
good.
but he was
Yes.
he's always been great in the playoffs, bro.
He had the game versus the Steelers where he was utterly absurd in 2023. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar
There's
had an
nothing we
utterly
can do
absurd
that
game
bad.
against
We don't
Houston. He
believe-
was great
Yeah.
against the Steelers.
I was gonna say we do it with Lamar. We have to do it with Josh. We judge you based off you going up against, which I agree is not the best case to do this. But when you go up against the upper echelon quarterbacks, when he went up against Burrow, he got wildly outperformed. When he goes up against Mahomes, every single time Mahomes outduels him and wins the game. When he goes up against Lamar, that's simply the only time he comes out victorious. Whether you want to say he was worse or not, I think Lamar was better than Josh objectively in the game versus Buffalo the last time they met up. I do believe that. But the few times before, definitely the time before that, Josh outperformed him. Lamar was horrendous.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
the first
in that
time
game.
they played.
First time they played. So, to objectively, I think Josh Allen is a great playoff performer. I do believe that, Joel. But
I think he's a great player performer
but
too. It's
I
just, I was looking at the
agree.
numbers. I was like, that's surprising.
but
Purdy's
playoffs
over there,
naturally, unless you're Mahomes,
Mahomes was number 1 in EPA per play before the Eagles game, and that dropped him down to like 11th.
God damn. Wait, looking at what, just last year you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was looking
The
at
playoff
a
run.
4-year sample.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I just feel like I don't look at Josh Allen and I say that is the 10th best quarterback in the playoffs over
neither
the
do
last
I.
4 years.
I'm not saying that either.
So, okay, so if you're not saying that, you're using a number to say that.
No,
So in your opinion,
no.
He's saying
No, let me
that
finish, let me
he's
finish.
using that number to drop him in the tier of
I'm just
elite
saying, like,
to
So
Yeah,
hold
great.
on.
Fine.
This is where I'm getting to. Without looking at the numbers, just from what you think, what quarterbacks in the playoffs do you think perform the best if you had to rank them
I would have Mahomes, I would have Stafford, I would have Jalen Hurts.
over Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts in the playoffs objectively.
Jalen Hurts has good games, but he has terrible games that get forgotten about
wasn't
because
for
his
sure
team
Great
wins.
until the NC Championship game last year's.
He was, but
No, he was great in an NFC
then he was
Championship
great
game and a
Super
Super Bowl,
Like,
The
in a
ranking
wild
was
card, in a
obviously not
divisional
himself.
round.
Listen, if you
he
want to
was- he
say,
did
I
not
get
play
it,
well.
because especially the
So
regular
in the
season,
playoffs,
Jalen
you'd
Hurts is
rather
saying.
have Jalen Hurts over Josh
Well,
Allen.
you asked me who's been better, and Jalen Hurts has been
No, I'm
better
saying
objectively.
who you think is the best quarterback?
Well,
you
I
trust
think
most in the
I think
playoffs?
Josh Allen's a better quarterback, so I'm expecting Josh Allen to perform better in the playoffs.
Okay,
but he
here-
hasn't
here
in the
is
last
the-
few years
here
been
is-
better.
Here
It's
is
two different arguments.
Here is Dell's standard for a quarterback in his last 4 postseasons. These are the numbers. completing 68% of his passes, 20 touchdowns to 3 interceptions with a passer rating of 109.8 and 253 passing yards per game.
Getting hyped up by a couple games.
And we're not even looking at his rushing success, which he adds 6 more touchdowns and he adds 48 more yards per game. Over a 4-year sample size, Josh Allen is averaging 300 yards per game in the playoffs with a clearer 100 passer rating. And he has 25 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
this is what we're nitpicking.
Yeah, I mean, you're including the Mac Jones playoff game where he had 300 yards, 5 touchdowns. You're including a Miami Dolphins game where he had 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like the Pittsburgh game where he has 4 touchdowns. And like
a lot of them
was
are
absurd that
first, second round.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Lamar has those numbers too against Houston, against Pittsburgh, where he gets propped up with these numbers. And you're like, holy shit. You look at X, Y, and Z. But then you look at the other games, like he had against Kansas City in 2024, where he had 180 yards and a touchdown. Or the last year against Kansas City, where he completes less than 65% of his passes. Or against the Ravens, where he has 140 yards of offense. Like,
wow. And in totality, in 4 playoff games against the Chiefs, Josh Allen has 9 touchdowns to 1 interception with a 100 passer rating. That's what he has in those 4 games. Against Kansas City, against the best competition, in 2025, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 237 passing yards.
yeah,
The year before
you got
that,
left wanting more.
1 touchdown, 0 picks, 186 passing
The
yards.
game versus KC
86
last year, I
passer
wanted
rating.
more. The game versus KC, I wanted more. No reason for Mahomes to
Listen,
outdo
his
you
first
last
2
year, and
games
he
against
did.
Kansas City, he was excellent. His last 2, I think, were
his last 2 have
underwhelming.
been really good, though. Like, if you're holding him to the God standard, based on how we performed at that level in that divisional round game, he was elite. So I'm knocking him down because he's great, but he's not elite. I'm holding him to a different standard.
I'm
so
sorry,
if he's
Josh
just
Allen,
Is that not fair?
Josh Allen on the ball with 2
No.
minutes left last
'Cause
year
he's
against the
grading
Chiefs,
him on
and he
a
came up
curve.
short. And Lamar Jackson gets crucified. Joe Burrow gets crucified. Mahomes gets crucified. Josh Allen came up short. It's the objective truth. It's fine. He's still one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the world, one of the top 5 quarterbacks I want to take in the playoffs. I am just saying he's been put on this godlike standard in the playoffs, and he just, in the biggest games, just hasn't been that in the last few
So
years.
Lamar Jackson, you put the losses on him.
Parts of the losses are definitely on him. Yeah, it's not 100% on him, but definitely a lot of them, it gets blamed on him.
You putting those losses on Josh Allen, so you're putting those losses
No.
on Lamar Jackson.
I think they deserve equal blame when they lose more often than not.
I think all Dells is looking for is a little
A little just
consistency
like, oh, would you
towards
look
both.
at this? Would you look at this?
But I
doesn't think
disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly that Lamar is in Josh's tier in the playoffs. If that's what you're arguing, I cannot agree.
That's what he's been
think
arguing this entire
it's
time.
closer than people think.
Okay, that's okay. Closer than people think is fine. Then they're in the same
that's
level.
not standing on nothing.
Because when has Lamar gone up against one of the upper echelon
Fair.
guys
He hasn't.
and performed?
I
That's
think
what
last year against Josh, the way the game started, he brought them
Cook,
back in the
Cook,
second half, and
fair.
that was his best game.
100%
and
agree.
He was fucking awesome.
I agree. Last year is the closest we got.
and he just, if he
And
won
he
that
lost
game,
the game.
I
agree.
100%,
I
100%.
agree.
Ultimately, I just don't think that the losses, the same things you're trying to criticize Josh Allen for, I don't think that Lamar should be criticized for either.
What do you think I'm
there are
criticizing?
this past KC game, you definitely criticized him.
Oh,
You
yeah,
said
well,
you
yeah,
left
2
he
minutes,
was
yeah.
underwhelming, and you blame him for not putting the ball perfectly in Dalton Kincaid's chest.
I mean, it's
while he's
four,
on the
it's
move,
like
fourth
4th
down.
and 8. You like, there's
You
more
still don't
opportunities
think
throughout
that's
the
absurd.
game.
That was an absurd.
You
It was
still
an
don't think
absurd
that was
throw.
a drop.
He's throwing that shit
You're
up
still
and he
not
put it
willing
on
to
him.
admit that
He
that
put it
was a
through his
drop.
arms.
That was a drop.
It's
It
a
went
hail,
through his
it's
arms,
a Hail
bro.
Mary,
It
dude.
went through,
Like,
yo, hold on.
Is that
It's
not
a
a drop?
receiving tight ends, and it went through his arms.
bro, there's 3 guys in his face. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw it up here. Hopefully something
it
happens.
put it on.
I'm
He
not
put it
being
on.
like Josh Allen.
He did not put it on
He had to
him.
work back to it,
He
and it went
had
through
to
his
work.
arms.
A tight end had to work back to the ball.
A receiving
It
tight
would
end.
We're
have
not
been
acting like
and
it's
it
the
went through his
fucking
arms.
Mahomes throwing
It
a
went through
Tyreek
his
Hill
arms.
and he's throwing
Objectively,
this post,
objectively.
both. Like,
through
it's
his
not
arms.
that, bro.
Objectively.
He's 3 dudes in his face. He's throwing it up and praying he catches
Well,
the
that
ball.
was an absurd play by him.
It
Just
was,
not
but
throw.
he's throwing it up, praying somebody
Objectively
catches it. He has
speaking,
no idea
if
who's out there.
He
Kincaid
had to work
catches
his
the
way
ball,
back to it, but it
objectively
went through his
speaking,
hand.
if
Went through his
Kincaid
arms.
catches the ball, I'm more hype about Kincaid catching it than
Fine.
Josh throwing it.
Okay, you can be more
That's
hyped about.
all I'm
you can-
saying. It would have been a fucking insane catch.
You can be more hyped about the play. There are players that are not elite players that make great catches in big moments all the time. David Tyree made the toughest catch in NFL history.
Do we talk about Eli evading 3 sacks, or do we talk about the helmet
We talk
catch?
about both.
No, we talk about the helmet catch.
We talk about both. We talk about both.
It's called the helmet catch, not the Eli drag. It's called the helmet catch. It's called the helmet catch.
Eli Manning stole to Mario Manningham too. Mario Manningham made a play in that situation.
That's a great throw.
So
arguably the best throw ever.
ultimately, I don't give a damn if you think that one was more impressive than the other. Do you think that one that was an absurd throw by Josh? Was that an amazing play by Josh Allen?
Yeah,
of course, but
So you're trying to minimize it, calling it a prayer. Oh, he just prayed to God,
dude.
But it's an
there's-
incredible play
He's
by
on
Josh.
his
The
back
prayer-
foot. There's Chiefs running at him, and he's throwing the ball up in the air with 4 guys around there.
Was Eli's
Fine.
not a prayer? It was a prayer.
Okay, and he dropped it in the perfect spot.
No,
He could have overthrew
not the
it.
Manningham. That's a dime. The Tyree was a
Yeah,
miracle.
I'm
It's a
just-
literal
it's a
miracle.
prayer,
Like,
dude.
please
Like,
God,
they
catch the ball,
execute and they get
Tyree.
it done, but it's a prayer at the end of the day.
But that prayer landed in
touchdown.
the player's hands.
Yes,
So was it a drop or was it not?
Oh my
it's
God.
a prayer.
The answer to the damn question. Was it
It's
a drop or was it not? Yes
it
or
would
no?
have been a miraculous catch.
You can answer the
I don't,
question.
if I'm grading
Is
the,
it a
if
yes
I'm
or no?
PFF and I'm grading
Is
that
it a
game, that
bro,
is not
I'm
a
not
drop.
gonna continue this conversation.
No,
You don't answer my
no,
question.
no.
It's not a drop.
If I'm grading that as PFF forever does this shit, drop, no. It's a Hail fucking Mary.
It was a
Okay.
prayer.
Okay.
It was a prayer.
Incredible throw.
Like, we're
I think
not
we're minimizing
acting like-
this ridiculous.
No, because I'm not
that's
going to
not.
sit here and act like this was some schemed up play to get Dalton Kincaid open. He had this crazy route and there was a crosser that took this. No. He got free. He got rushers in his face. He stepped back and threw it and hoped someone
Well,
caught
what
it.
it was is it was a designer screen to Khalil Shakir that wasn't there. So then Josh Allen had to improvise with pressure in his face because all the
Yes.
offensive line went to go block
I
the other
recognize
side.
that.
And he had to make a play and he threw it up and
it was
it
a
landed
prayer.
in a perfect spot where a receiver had the ability to catch it. That's
we
what
watched the
happened.
hit
play.
his arms.
It is a
went-
drop.
He's
It's a tough
working
play.
back
It's a tough
to the.
catch.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a tough catch.
Tough catches can be drops too.
No.
If
Yes.
it hits your arms and it hits 2 hands, it's a
You're
drop, bro.
working back to the
He's
ball.
mid-air. They're trying to catch
Full
the
extension.
So you're saying if a catch is tough and you don't
I got a
catch it,
question.
it's not a drop?
I got a question.
It depends.
What % chance do you think that has to be completed? Give me a percentage.
Based on the entirety of the play or
The
just Dalton
entirety of the
Kincaid's
play was
ability to
blown up
catch the ball?
immediately.
Everything.
Based on Dalton
Give me
Kincaid's
both. Give me both.
No,
Give me both.
just basing on Dalton Kincaid's ability to catch a football, something that he's done in high school, in college, was a first round
We're not
pick,
acting like a
was
screen
having a
is
good
this,
season.
bro.
This year, he's worth 7 points to their offense because when he plays, they average 30, and when he doesn't, they average 23 points
He's
per
been
game.
much better this year than last year.
That player that knows how to catch a football, that's been doing it for a living, I'm expecting in that moment a 50-50 chance for you to catch that ball.
A 50-50
A
chance.
50-50 chance.
I think 50-50 is
The hardest
is
part was
very
done by
kind,
Josh Allen on that play.
And even
I hope
still,
you know that.
you're telling me the best we got is a 50-50 chance.
Who
Like,
was
sorry,
who
dude.
was it tougher on? Josh Allen to get the throw off or Dalton
Definitely
Kincaid?
Josh.
I mean, to get the ball, they were super impressive.
Without
I
a
mean,
doubt.
they were both. They're both crazy. Like
I
objectively,
mean,
they're
what's
both
more
crazy.
impressive, Tyree holding onto the ball or Eli Manning evading
It's
3
just,
sacks?
your quarterback makes a play, you got to make a play for him. That's what football's about.
I'm just not gonna like. Yeah, we've had this argument before.
He makes
dude.
a play, you got to make a play too. You're
just-
acting like we asking him to do the impossible. You acting like we're trying to.
You're
we're
acting like this is a
jiggle
5-yard out
balls
route.
in the air and
You're
then
acting
catch
like
the
this
ball.
is the easiest catch in the world.
I'm not saying
it
it's
would have been
easy.
the best fucking
When
catch
ha-
of the playoffs.
When have I ever said it was easy?
Would have been the best
Never
play.
said it
The
was
fact
easy
that
once.
it's a 50-50 catch
You're
makes
calling
it
it a
seem like it's a
50-50.
50-50 catch.
It hit him here. It hit him right here.
He's working backwards.
Do
He's
receivers
in the
not work
fucking
backwards all the
air.
time?
He's
In
midair.
the
He's
air.
midair.
In the air.
Receivers work backwards
You
all
can
the time.
He's midair, dude. Laying out, full foot laying out.
For
It's
me,
insane.
It's not
a
even
tough
full-fledged
play.
laying
It's just
out.
the fact it's a receiving tight end. This is what he was drafted in the first round to be. This type of playmaker. And Josh Allen, utterly absurd play that was immediately blown up. I just think the premise is, I don't want to diminish the fact it was an absurd throw. That was all.
It was an
it
absurd
was-
throw.
it was.
I'm not sitting here
And
saying
you're
that.
right. It was. There's some prayer to it.
That's
But
all
the
it
fact he
is.
got it out there was nothing.
Yes,
100%.
Yes, I'm not sitting here being like, that was a terrible play by Josh Allen. No, the terrible plays were the plays before that.
Zing.
Yeah, but I'm looking like the way you're describing a catch is if his fingertips are here and the ball hits him here. When you look at the picture, he quite literally has the ball cuffed. Like that is the motion people make when they catch a ball and brace for contact.
How many times do we see in the NFL when you catch the ball like this, it goes right through and hit the ground? We see it every fucking
Right,
week.
and listen, he dropped the ball. It's fine. You know, I'm not. You're the one saying that it wasn't a drop. You know,
No.
tough catches can be drops.
I've seen drops not get graded as drops.
Because
That's
that is
insane
not
catch.
like if you're grading also on PFF and you know you don't want to count it as a drop, would you count that as an uncatchable throw?
I don't know what the other options are, truthfully.
Is it a catchable or an uncatchable throw?
It's weird because it's catchable, but
Yes,
I don't think
it
it's
is.
a drop.
Now, but it is it though. You make it
Sure.
sound like Josh Allen, like it wasn't catchable.
I mean, was fucking Odell's one-handed catch catchable? Like, sure, he caught it, but I
That-
wouldn't have given a drop
such
if
a
he
good
dropped
example.
the
but that
ball.
play was
Such a good
objectively much
example.
tougher than Kincaid's though.
For sure, but either way, it's a tough play for
Like-
the receiver. And if the receiver makes an awesome play, hats off to you.
Odell
but
had
I'm
to
not going to
extend
be
out
like,
to it.
oh my God, how do you not make the play? You're a bum. You're going to get fucking cut. Like, no, like he would have had to make a miraculous play, and he didn't.
Okay, so whatever. Odell Beckham Jr.'s catch, you don't deem as a catchable ball.
No.
I mean, it was
He
out.
just- he
it
called
was-
an uncatchable ball.
Yes, and that's fine. You know, that happens all the time. But in this regard, what Josh Allen threw was a catchable ball.
Yeah.
You can't describe that as an uncatchable ball.
It was a prayer.
It was a catchable.
Sometimes prayers are catchable.
Prayers are catchable, and
To
that
be
was a
fair,
catchable prayer.
a Hail Mary that
That's all I
goes
needed to
50
know.
yards down the field into the end zone is catchable. But there's 15 defenders around, so or whatever players, so it gets batted down, but there's no fucking drop. It's a Hail Mary.